Hi everyone. More and more women today behave as if there are no boundaries. Not just from a moral standpoint, but also in terms of basic public behavior. There are countless videos online of men who have simply had enough, pushing back, whether by arguing, shouting, or even resorting to physical confrontation. This is the result of a generation lacking discipline, not just for women, but in general. Men are no longer properly guided by their fathers on how to be a man. And women face the same issue. No one is teaching them how to behave, not just as ladies, but as mature, responsible adults. This stems from a failure to instill consequences and proper upbringing from childhood. At this point, it's probably too late for many to change. Personally, I don't understand YouTube channels where men try to analyze and explain these women's behavior. Why bother? Ignore them. Move on. Some are beyond saving, and they seem to accept that. So, where can you find a woman who will appreciate you as a man? Well, that's the challenge. The number of women who fit that standard is small. If you live in the West, you might even consider looking for a life partner in another country. And I'm not joking. Sure, an individual can find someone anywhere, but the reality is that there simply aren't enough good women for everyone. Even among those who claim to embody masculinity, many so-called masculine influencers are not truly masculine. So actually, if you're gonna think about it, even if there is some kind of dramatic downgrading in terms of masculinity in these Western societies, you don't need to be the most masculine guy in the world if you want to be, let's say, good enough. Even among those who claim to embody masculinity, so-called masculine influencers, those guys are not necessarily that masculine as they say they are. Their toxicity doesn't come because very often they say that they're toxic. Their toxicity doesn't come from masculinity itself, but from deep-seated insecurities. Once they attempt to resolve in ways that are more emotional than logical. If you aren't naturally masculine, you will never fully think like a real man. I'm sorry, but this is just reality. This is just a reality. Masculinity is innate. What you are born with is what you die with. That's just reality. Many of these men try to imitate masculinity, but their understanding of it is flawed. They are merely imagining what it means to be masculine, yet their imagination itself is not masculine, leading to a distorted outcome. This is why we're calling this toxic masculinity. So on an island without other men, even an average guy would do just fine. Today, many Western men are doing their best, constantly striving for self-improvement. So let go of, and actually they're not doing bad job. I would even say they are doing their best and they're growing in it. Maybe not in masculine way as a man, but as a human being, yes, they do. So let go of that idea that you must be the most masculine man on the planet, or at least you must be in that top tier, most masculine man. You are born with this. If you didn't born with that those obvious masculinity trait, you need to accept this, okay? And not all women want to be with the most masculine guy. Even those women who are very attracted to men who are saying that they are very masculine, very often they're not. They claim that they are. They try posing as if they were in the way that they view masculinity led them to, but they're not necessarily that masculine. They end up with not the most feminine women, which is fine. So back to women. Let go of women who refuse to change. A woman can only return to a normal, fulfilling life if she is in a relationship with a strong, conservative man who leads her, who will dominate her, or if she was already raised with proper values. And let's face it, those men who are really those strong individuals, those masculine conservative men who are able to dominate women, they're not with that kind of women that need extra work. They end up with those women who were, since their childhood, raised in proper way, and they were raised to be a lady. And very often they are both from families that have very strong morality, deep-rooted in conservative, very often religious cultures, social groups that are most of the time the most, well, they the most attached to culture that they live in, of the country that they live in. So, like I said, if you're facing a woman that is beyond saving, let her go. She's not worth it. Go to those women, and we're living online right now. So actually finding a woman, good woman who is speaking the same language as you do, but is not necessary from your country, that's plausible. This is plausible, and not only plausible, but maybe it's even the way that you should go. And if you want these women to change for any reason, because you want to live in different country, in different society, well, those women will behave. Also leave them, because this is the only way to change another human being. You can't change someone by forcing them to do so, telling them to do so. The only way actually to change someone is by your behavior. And women can only change if they are suffering from their behavior, from what they are doing. Then they can leave it and really change. And how to force them when they start suffering because of the crippled way of life? If they are cut off other people. Okay, so do this. Just cancel them. And I'm not talking about cancel culture. I'm just talking about your personal life. Don't have anything to do with those women. It's just waste of time, and the easiest way to change them is cut off them off the crowd. Then they really have a reason to change for better. Okay, so those are my 2 cents. Take care, guys.